Well, he's a chartered accountant that combines his love for clay and heat and interesting items. This morning we have Ian in the studio, and he is from Patat, Ontwerp. Ian, welcome.
Thank you.
Lovely
Thank
to
you
have
very
you
much.
here this
Yeah,
morning.
thank you.
So tell me, I was so surprised, guys, when Ian told me this morning that he's actually a chartered accountant. It's not always that you get someone that loves being creative and is also behind the numbers. I'm not so good with, with the numbers thing. But it's so lovely to hear that you're combining the two and that you love both.
Yeah.
So tell me, where did this all start, Ian?
Firstly, most people had the reaction that you have when they hear what I actually do for a living. This started about 10 years ago. The City of Cape Town at their Belleville Library has got this amazing art centre.
Okay.
And I stayed in Belleville at that stage, and then I joined the ceramic classes, and
Awesome.
it grew from there. And then I moved to Paarl, and I got myself a kiln, and then I started,
What do you call it?
a kiln.
A
yeah,
kiln.
yeah. So the oven is called a kiln.
Oh, okay. So there we have it. We're learning
Yeah.
this morning. So
Yeah.
the oven is called a kiln. I can imagine, like, it must be intriguing to work with your hands. Like, how?
Yes.
Tell me about that process. Or what? It must be a love to work with your hands. So
Absolutely. It's actually strange. I don't like to get my hands dirty, like working in the garden and stuff.
Okay.
But clay just has another feeling.
Yeah.
That just a feeling of creating.
Yeah.
Things.
So
Molding it
I
to
love
something.
that. I love the fact that you said it has a feeling.
Yeah.
What feeling does it release in you once you start designing an item or working with the clay, and then it needs to obviously go into the oven and be at a certain temperature and waiting on the process for it to finish and all of that? Like, what does it awaken in you?
I think just excitement. It's basically one of the big reasons why I started this was just to try and balance out or deal with the stress that I have in my normal day job. And this is a big stress release for me to be creative and just completely take my mind off my work.
I can, and I've always wanted to work with my hands and experience the clay and all of that, and I want to go and do it. Do you guys have classes that you do at the moment? Is that in the future?
No, not at all. It's just the spending time in my studio that I have at home is it's just me time, being alone, my thinking time, my releasing time. Yeah.
Fantastic. So guys, if you are a chartered accountant or you are in finance and you want a little bit of a release, then Ian is giving you the nuggets this morning, working with your hands and doing, and I can imagine how it must really just balance out just that stress, because your work must be stressful also, and then bringing that balance together of working with your hands. Okay, so I'm very excited to know about the items this morning. When I went and stalked on Ian's page on Instagram, Patat Designs, I saw quite a few interesting pieces. So tell us a little bit about the bricks over here on this side.
So the bricks started with an idea that I had. A lot of my let me just tell you firstly about the whole idea and how I work.
Yes.
There's a lot of documentation in my work, and nostalgia and feelings. Because that's also the thing is my pieces should invoke feelings with people of remembrance, and should also then I like to do functional pieces.
Yeah.
So I started with the bricks, and I started with actual stamped bricks like coronation bricks, and I had a Kulenhof brick and a Pretoria Kirkness brick, and I was searching around and I couldn't find a Paarl brick. Because I live in Paarl and I want something connected to the area. And I couldn't find any, and I don't think that there ever was one. So I made my own, and maybe let's show it on the blue one. So Paul Brick Company, and I thought, what would be a kind of a historic reference that I could bring in. So I bought in the gables of like the Paul Museum.
Yeah.
That gable I
Okay.
tried to bring in
that
there.
together,
Yeah.
yeah.
The side gable of
Yes.
that. Yeah.
And it's obviously available also in the shop if people would like to buy. No?
Yes, I've got I sell online
Yes.
through Instagram, but I've also been exhibiting here and there. I've
Yeah.
exhibited at Art B in Belleville, at Rus en Vrede. I've been at Karma's just now. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And
Let
what
me-
do we have next? Yeah, we have a plate on this side.
The blue plates.
plates.
Blue plates are quite popular
Yeah.
with people, and there I try to with the old Chinese blue and white,
Yes.
European and Delft blue and white. I brought in our South African products that we all grew up with,
Yes.
Lion Matches,
Yes.
Lucky Star, and I think I've got about 15 different items that I put on the plates,
Awesome.
and I mean it evokes nostalgia with yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can imagine when you have these plates and you have people inviting people over for
Yeah.
dinner and you have it displayed on your
Yes,
table,
yeah.
it evokes conversation.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's a conversation
Absolutely.
starter. So
Absolutely.
it's beautiful plates to have,
Yeah,
guys. So
yeah.
go and check that out
Yeah.
in the shop. And then over here,
Let's do
it
the yellow
reminds
one,
me of
yeah.
my oma.
Yes, beforehand you said about it
Yeah.
reminded me of
Yeah.
and that was, I mean, I also grew up with
Tupperware.
Tupperware.
Yeah.
Almal het maar Tupperware in die
Ja,
kas by die
ja.
huis, and that whole sunshine range I just put into
Yeah.
I used the lid and made a mold and
Yeah.
put it into to plates. Yeah.
And when you said that it needs to evoke an emotion, like
Yes.
immediately when I saw it, I had a conversation with Ian, and I said to him, it's like I hear my oma saying, "Bring my Tupperware terug."
Exactly. Presies.
So it's
Exactly.
very, very cool.
Presies.
And then I want to talk about this last because I think
Okay,
that's an
yes.
interesting story.
Yeah.
So right here we have the municipal waterkraan.
Yeah.
Municipale waterkraan.
Municipale waterkraan. So this, because I work for the municipality, I don't know. It's just I get excited by drain lids and things with markings.
Yeah.
When you walk in Paul, you will see that there's a lot of big drain lids that says PM Water or PM Riool.
Yeah.
That's all Paul municipality.
Yeah.
This one specifically, I found in Stellenbosch one day, and I actually went. It's an actual little cover for a water tap.
Yeah.
And I went the Saturday afternoon with my silicone and I made a mold of the actual lid, and I came back and I made a cast of it. Yeah.
Awesome, dis baie interessant want toe ek getravel het, het ek 'n vriendin van my gehad. Sy's van die Filippines.
Ja.
Ek sê dit toe in Afrikaans want dit is lekker om dit te
Ja.
vertel in Afrikaans. En sy het letterlik elke plek en elke land wat ons na toe gegaan het sy letterlik op elke drein gaan staan met haar voete
ja.
en 'n foto daarvan
Ja,
gevat.
ja.
En it was so cool because it was her selection of showing like where
Yes.
she's been.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very, very, that's very cool.
And that's also, I think, maybe just a theme in the whole process is it's a lot of things that are maybe overlooked, like a brick or a Tupperware Daxel,
Yeah.
or a Lucky Star tin of a boxy lion. Dis nie goed wat jy dis alledaagse goeders
Yes.
that you easily discard of and
Yes.
and that I try to document. So lastly, let's talk about
Yes.
the royal baking soda, and this
Yeah,
is
tell us the whole story
this
about
is
it.
this
That's
is
very
the
interesting.
most awesome story. So everybody knows that the royal baking factory was in Paul in Jan van Riebeeck. It is Jan van Riebeeck Road. And one day I spoke to Harry Liederman from the Roads and Stormwater
Yes.
Department, and he showed me a plate that they had, like a stamping plate, for the royal baking acid that a previous colleague had found in the Berg River. So probably after the factory closed, this thing that they probably stamped the baking acid with was discarded by someone in the river and was picked up. So I made a mold of it and I made tiles of it. Yeah.
Wow.
We recently renovated our house.
I want you guys to go on his Instagram page. Just give all your social media handles. Go and check it out. He actually shows how the tiles is in. Is it in your kitchen or
we broke out. We have a 95-year-old house, and we broke out one of the inside walls, and just instead of putting wood where the wall was, I put the pole of the royal baking acid tiles in. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ian, I was so intrigued by everything that you explained to us. It's not just items, but it's items that awakens nostalgia, as you said, and brings back that feeling of not just the current, but also going back into history and bringing it into the current stages that we're in, or this current day that we live in. And the one thing that I also want to mention before we finish and wrap this up, you also had the cup that was so nice for me. The coffee cups, the takeaway cups that we throw away.
Yes.
You're also making ceramics of that, and
ceramic
that's also
paper cups. Yes.
Yes, and it brings the old and the new together. Ian, it was lovely to interview you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's lovely being here.
Awesome, guys. Thank you, and stay tuned.